Hello, my crafty friends. If you're watching the replay, I'm glad you're here. If you're live, I'm glad you're here. Um, I'm not going to actually really get started until at least 6 o'clock. I just was sitting here, finally found my book. I've been looking for 30 minutes for this book. So I'm glad I finally found it. Hi, Kathy. I'm glad you're here. We're going to start by finishing the project from the first project in the book. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Teresa. I'm glad y'all are here. Oh, it's been one of those days where you've got a lot of things planned to do and most of them don't get done. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Julie. I'm glad y'all are here. If y'all haven't, I imagine there's probably not anybody at the moment. Hi, Ross. Good to see you. Well, I'm glad you're here from sunny South Australia. I'm in sunny Texas. We're working with this book, Fast and Fun Watercolor. It turns out it's really a mixed media book. It's not as much about watercolor as I thought when I bought it, but we're going to go through and do it. It also has a bunch of products that they call for you to use that I don't have, but we're going to just work our way through that because I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of stuff just for this book. So, but that's what we're doing. This is the first project, except I had to let this stuff dry, so I haven't quite finished it, but we're going to finish it first. This is what hers looked like, in the book. This is what it's obviously more professional than mine. Oh, I didn't write the verse either. We need to do that too. But everything had to dry. Julie's happy to have another Australian buddy there. Yeah, that's what we do, Ross. We always try to find ways to do it. You don't have to have all the stuff. You may not get exactly the result, but for this one, I didn't have what they call cold press medium. So I just used some modeling paste that I had made. And it's mostly just for texture anyway. So I just used what I had and made texture. And the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and finish this one. And then we'll work as far as we can on the one that is the second project in the book. There was something I was going to show y'all that I found in my stash. I have been digging through, getting stuff out to put in a garage sale. And I found a book. I don't think I ever showed y'all, so I wanted to show you, but now I don't remember where I put it. So I don't see it out here, so it must still be in the house. Oh, maybe we'll wait on that till another day, since I'm not sure where it is. Somewhere in the house. There are several people who are trying to kind of play along with me, so I want to give them a few minutes to get here since I got on early. But I guess I could show you the stuff we did, the other stuff we've done. This was the first step where, it's like steps 3 and 4, I guess. You draw your sunflowers, and then you put glue over them and put down book page, and then you pull up all of the book page that's not glued down. This was very difficult on here she said to wet it and then pull it off. And I had a much, much harder time getting the paper off wet than I did this one dry. So for me, and the particular book page I was using was a really old book, one of those old brittle books. It worked better to do it dry than to do it wet. But so that's one place where things didn't work out quite the way it was planned. I did this one, glued it down, and had it ready to try to take off when I started the project. And then I did this one to this point to show how to get to the place where I was. So that's why I have one that's not finished. But the first thing we did was make color wheels, and I made this color wheel right here is the one I made on the first night when we were doing this. But I showed some others because I made this one beforehand to show you with exactly the same paints as I made this one. But no, maybe that's not true. No, this one was done with 3 Daniel Smith colors: Hansa Yellow Light, Phthalo Blue, and Quin Rose. This one, and this one. And then I mixed them to get the rest of the color wheel for that one. This one is the one that I did in preparation for the class. So these two are done with the same paint. This one I did with Crayola watercolors, just to prove that you don't have to have fancy paints to do this project. This is one I did with New Gamboge, Pearl Scarlet, and French Ultramarine that are also Daniel Smith, and I mixed all the other colors. So the main thing, the first project we did was to show that you don't have to buy 12 colors. You can just get 3 and make the colors. And you can use Crayola watercolors. And I think the only one I had to mix, I'm not sure. One of these I had to mix, but it's not marked down. I thought I wrote down what it was. Anyway, one of these, I think it was the red violet. I think I had to mix because there wasn't a red violet, but I'm not positive. Anyway, and then we did a little exercise where we let the colors kind of mix into each other. And that's what we did the first, for like an introduction. And then we worked on this one, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Well, I'm not organized about anything, Ross, but so you can play along and be completely unorganized. It's perfectly fine. Hi, Janet. Hi, Nashwa. I'm so glad to see y'all. Hi, Renee. I'm glad you're here. So, yeah, I don't have that set of Crayola watercolors out here with me. I got some stuff that I moved out into my garage because I'm trying to keep a space open so that the sprinkler repair guy can get into my sprinkler system control box if they will ever come back to actually do the work. So we will see. Hi, Jacqueline. Good to see you. Anyway, I think we've waited long enough. We can go ahead and all we have left to do is to write the little quote and to put the brown and gold in. So we're going to start with that. And I don't have any brown on my palette. This is the palette I'm using. And everything's kind of run together because my table's not completely flat. Let's see if we can get it to run back to the green. Anyway, I'm going to use brown out of this palette because um, I don't have it in that one. Okay. And this, it says it's sepia, but I don't think it is. I think there's something else got stuck in there after I made that. Um, so I'm going to take some of this, which is raw sienna, and I'm going to mix it with that to make it more brown and less black. And we're going to work on these. And I don't know if the watercolor will even stick to them. And it doesn't look like it's doing a very good job. So we may have to go back and use acrylic. May have to go back and use acrylic on this. See if I can use a little less water and more paint. Hey, Barbara, I'm glad you're here. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Well, I bet you're ready to get things unpacked. I bet you are. The first time I moved, well, the first time Darren and I moved before we had the kids, we had, well, I've done that every time I've moved. I had a huge garage sale and got rid of tons of stuff. And we moved into the apartment behind my mom's house, and we had the kids while we were living there, and that's just next door to where we live now, and or where I live now. When we moved over here, Ethan had just turned, was fixing to turn 6, and Hannah was fixing to turn 3 when we moved over here, and we just walked all the furniture, you know, from next door. And I think that was harder than moving across town because, just going out to a truck was easier than than going to than going all the way through the gate and across the, two yards to get into the house. But and then we've been here for 16 years. So we had a garage sale that time too. Every time I move, I've had a garage sale. Now I'm having a garage sale and I'm not moving. I just need to get stuff out of the house. And I'm just gonna let this dry, and it's gonna be whatever color it ends up being. And if it's, I mean, the watercolor is sticking. It's just so white under there that it's not staying really dark. So, hi Barbara, I'm glad you're here. Hi Dana, I'm glad you're here. Oh, I don't know if I told y'all or not, but I finally got rid of that huge treadmill. Friday, my chiropractor and her husband came and got it. Yay! So that's out of my bedroom. That makes me very happy. Feels like a burden has been lifted. Okay, let's use the heat gun just a second here. Bishop? Oh, I'm so glad. She was worrying whether you got it or not, so I'm glad to know you got it. I thought it was adorable, so I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you're here too. Um, okay. The next thing we're supposed to do to finish this page off, oh, besides the words, let's do the words first because if I try to write after I put this stuff on, I'll end up making a big mess. Okay. And it says, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. I don't know how I feel about that. Um, not sure. I don't know. I mean, it's not like bad. It's just not something I really want. Let's find another one. Oh, I like this one by E. E. Cummings. It says, it takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. I like that one. So we're going to use that one instead. She had it on um, this painting, which I would like to make that painting, but I was wondering why that wasn't going down. Okay, this is not working too well. She said to use a paint pen, so I guess a Posca pen would be better than this. I'm going to come back over this in a minute. I think if I let each level dry first and then go back over it, maybe it'll work better. And that was all right. I'm going to go over some of it again. After it dries, it does show up a little bit better, but okay. It's really hard to read, but there it is. Hi, Tanya. I'm glad you're here. Oh, that's okay. Yes, Barbara, that's true. That's true. We can be who we really are, and we all can love each other. And I'm grateful for a community like that because there are a lot of communities online that are not like that. And I'm glad that this one is. Okay, it just said to put in some gold, and I don't know. They didn't like put dots. They just scribbled some kind of messy gold on there. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I like it too, Barbara. But I like what you said about the other quote because um, I was thinking about it in a much more negative viewpoint than that. So I'm grateful that you put that out there because I like what you said. I don't like to have negative thoughts about things, but that for some reason that quote did kind of affect me that way. Okay, but now I see it better. See, that's why we have each other so we can think from other perspectives. Oh, good grief! I'm sorry. Hold on just a minute. Okay, sorry about that. I had to try to find a cough drop. Okay, so there's my little bit of gold on my sunflowers. And I think it turned out pretty good. So we're going to be happy with that one. And we're going to move on to this one. And I don't think that there's anything except the very last step that we need to wait on. I think we can just go ahead and oh, I was supposed to see, I lost my book and I just found it like 2 minutes before we started. And I forgot I was supposed to mix up some gum arabic with water, and it's in the house. I'll have to go in and get it in when we get to that place. But okay, here's a nice quote from Vincent van Gogh. It says, "There is no blue without yellow and without orange. And if you put in blue, then you must put in yellow and orange too." Okay. I'm not sure about no blue without orange, but I don't know as much about art as Vincent van Gogh. I can tell you that. So we're gonna give him that one. Hi, Gloria. I'm glad you're here. Okay, this let me show you what the her finished product looks like. This is what we're striving for today. And I like this quote. It says, "There are no strangers, only friends you haven't met yet." W.B. Yeats. And part of me uh, has encountered some negative things today and wishes that was actually true. But I encountered a couple of people I don't think I could ever be friends with today. And I hate saying that because I think I could be friends with most people. Um, Barbara says, "I have 2 containers of gum arabic. If anyone would like one of them, I will mail it to you. Let me know." There you go, folks. Gum arabic is a binder that you mix with pigment to make watercolor, and you can do other things with it too. Hannah is making ink with adding some gum arabic to pigment to make inks. So but that's what it is. It's a binder, and it's what's in these watercolors here to bind them is gum arabic. Yeah, they're pears. Nope, no teeth. Um, Over here, it kind of looks like teeth, though, doesn't it? Oh, that's funny. I like that. Thank you. I needed a laugh. Oh, thanks, Julie. Okay, so the first thing we're supposed to do, and I think she does this in most all of her stuff, is take crayons and scribble around. Now, I need to. Let me look and see if I have any other crayons I could use besides those. Ooh, this would be fun. I have these metallic crayons. Let's play with those. You'd think I was still 6 because I still have boxes of hoarded crayons. Oh, hi, Beth. Hi, Becky. I'm glad y'all are both here. It's just some people don't know there's a field out there. That's true, Barbara. And some people are so damaged and hurt they don't believe in, that they can really have friends either, I think. And that's sad. Okay. We're going to use these colors. And we're going to try to do this very lightly. Let's go back here. I don't know if you can see on the page. Whoops. Helps if I get it in the... See, underneath the pears, there's just some kind of scribbles. That's the first step. So I'm going to... oh, we're turning it this way this time. Let's get this up out of the way. Okay. I already got something on that. Let's turn it over. Maybe this is better. And I don't think the metallic-y stuff will even show, but why not? Okay. There's our scribbles, or my scribbles. And I missed looking at the moon last night. I forgot. I missed a couple of things yesterday. We got tickets to go to a lunch at one of the Catholic churches here in town was raising funds. And we had tickets to go to this. Whoa, don't do that to me. Come on. Sorry, y'all. We had tickets to go to that lunch. Hannah and I did, and we forgot. I found the tickets this morning. But we were getting my mom's birthday present ready, and after we got through doing that, we totally forgot to go do anything else. So, okay, and now we want to draw some pears. 3 pears. And I'm going to check to see something. Okay, the first one is going to be blue and green. So let's just draw a blue pear. So it'll be... I'm going to draw this probably darker than I need to so you can see it. Mine looks like a gourd. Not a very good pear. And what was the other one? Next one. It's green and yellow and orange. Okay. That one's not much better. But that's okay. We're going to just carry on. Y'all know I'm not a great drawer. But there are my first 2 pears. That one's even worse. Okay. Well. Maybe when we do our watercolor, we can do a little bit better job. Oh. Frogs would be fun. I agree about the mosquitoes, Becky. I agree about the mosquitoes. Okay. Now that we've drawn this, we're supposed to turn it upside down. See, I didn't leave enough space here. And my... Okay, just a second. I'm going to have to do something. Okay. I'm going to make the bottom of my pears. That's not even visible enough. I'm going to remake my pears, so we're just going to ignore what I drew here. Pretty much, and make this the bottom of the pear so that I can have enough room to do this brown and stuff. Okay. Whew. Y'all probably want to go watch somebody else with this. I'm feeling very inadequate at the moment. But I guess if I can be inadequate and keep going, then y'all have to feel empowered to do it yourself, I guess. Okay. Step number 2, turn the paper upside down. Take a large round brush and begin painting the top of the paper with quinacridone gold. Then switch midway to yellow-orange watercolor. Okay. Quinacridone gold is not one of the things in our 12 that she told us we needed at the beginning. So that's one problem I have with this book. When it talks about the color wheel, and then she pulls in all these other colors. And I thought she was really just going to use the color wheel. So that's my one beef. I'm trying to think. I've got quinacridone gold, but it is not watercolor, but I'm going to use it anyway. And we're going to mix it with some water. Okay, let's do that. And I need a big brush. And it doesn't need to be a watercolor brush for this step. So I'm going to use this quinacridone nickel azole gold. It's a fluid acrylic. And I'm just going to put some of it down and then spray it with water. And that's what we're going to put on the bottom. And it's not as brown as what she has. Let's go ahead and use it all up. Don't want to waste it. Okay. Okay. Now then I'm going to work with the watercolor. And she said, switch midway to yellow and gold, yellow and orange watercolor. Okay. I should have mixed that out here. I just made a mess. Okay, just a second. I'm beginning to wonder if I bit off more than I should have um, when I said I was going to do this. Okay. But we're just going to go ahead and go with it. There are no perfect pears. That is true, Becky. And the pears in my grocery store are really pathetic. I have to agree. So thank you. I can feel a little bit better about my pears here. Okay, let's do more yellow out here by itself. Okay, now then I'm just going to take and just spread what I've got already on there down to finish filling in this. So hopefully it'll be lighter at the top. That's my plan. Okay. Okay. Well, there's my pears so far. Hi, Carol. I'm glad you're here. Scott is working on the bathroom before he goes into work, and lucky me, he's using the compressor lever tools. Oh dear. Yeah, that would be a little bit hard. Okay. And then it says evaluate the background's value. If the initial wash turns out to be too pale or anemic, glaze the background. I don't think mine is pale or anemic. Repeat previous steps by painting another layer of quinacridone gold and yellow orange watercolor. Flip the painting right side up while it's still damp and sprinkle some salt for texture. Well, I forgot to do that, and I don't know that it'll still even work, but I do have salt here somewhere. Um, See, it would have helped if I would have read ahead, but I just found it in time to get on here. And I can't. Oh, there's my salt. Okay. I think I think mine's already too dry for that. I think it's too dry for that. Thanks, Julie. Um, I am gonna put some of this color. Well, Maybe. I thought it would be a little darker, but it's really not. All right, let's mix in some of the other with it. Ah! Oh, good grief. Oh, now I have. Now I have it a little bit darker at the bottom. I like that a little bit better. Do the second part. Well, I don't want it any darker though. That's my problem. But I could just go over it all with some water, I guess. Okay. Only salt I can find is this um, grinder, except for the salt that I actually cook with. Okay. My youngest sister is sharing ancient photos on Facebook. Oh my goodness. Uh, that's something my sister would do too. Okay. Come on. I'm going to go out while we're letting this dry a minute and see if I can get the camera to stop that. I went in and did the focus, what do you call it? Autofocus off before we started. So it doesn't usually do this when I do that, but okay. Now hopefully it will stay focused. Bye, Ross. Thanks for coming in. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit just a little bit, and we're gonna go over what it says the next steps are. Let me move this over here. In a second. Let me get. I got salt everywhere. Ah, okay. This is one of those days. I was hoping it wouldn't carry over to tonight, but it has. Okay. The next thing it says to do is with a large round brush dipped in clean water, dampen each pear shape to set the stage for a wet into wet technique. Wet paint intermingling with another wet paint. Going from left to right, paint the first pair by dropping in blue, turquoise, and light green watercolors. For the middle pair, paint in yellow, orange, and red-orange watercolors. For the third pair, mingle magenta and violet watercolors. Let the pigments blend naturally on their own. And it says, add texture to the fruit while the pears are still damp. And I'm not sure what that means. Um, Add texture to the fruit. Unless these watercolor, maybe that's the salt. Maybe they're wanting you to do salt again because I see a salt shaker. So I guess they're wanting you to use salt again. Ah, okay. And then number 6 says cut small pieces of colorful origami paper and glue them onto the pears. Well, I'm not going to use origami paper. I'm going to use jelly print paper. And this is, so they just put some little pieces that are in the colors, you know, on there. So I guess I need to look for some papers while that's drying. Of course, I can look for papers while this is drying. Let's see how this is. Yeah, let's do it that way. Let's go ahead and I'm going to use, oh, if I use the heat gun, I'll blow it everywhere. Okay, I'm going to change my mind and go ahead and look for papers while I let that dry. Move that other watercolor because I don't have space for it up here. Okay. Now let's see if I've got any in this stack of stuff we did last Thursday that will work with this. Okay. Let's close this book. Move this over there. Move these over here. Okay. That one's too heavy. It needs to be something that's not that heavy. There's some colors we might can use. Ooh, I bet in here too. That's got like everything in it. Let's just use this paper right here. We can get pieces that'll go with all of it. A simple way to add texture to watercolor is by adding paper layers, is what I found by doing a search. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here, I guess. Um, so I guess that works out well. Thank you, Becky. Okay. Thank you, Barbara. All right. And she cut hers, but I'm going to tear mine because I like torn edges better. And I think I'm going to tear it with a deckled edge ruler. Okay. Let's see. I know we're going to need some of this. Let's just go right here. Okay. There's some blue and purple. I don't want them to all be the same. Okay, let's do. Oh, hold on just a second. Let me mute. All right. Sorry about that. Hannah's fixing to go down to the basement and pull up some more stuff for the garage sale, and she didn't want me to be shocked because the door was open to the basement, because it's right where I go in the door. It's like you open the door. Here's the door to the basement, and it opens like this. And here's the door to go into the house, and it opens like this. So they kind of do this, and they fight each other. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, since she's going to be down there, I told her I wanted her to bring me the phone so that I can so if she needs me, she can call me, or if I need her, I can call her. So I don't know if we're going to need 4 or not, but I want some of this more um, I don't know. I'm not sure. Actually, that's probably better. Okay, we're just going to do those and hope for the best. Unless I look at it in a minute and think that no, we'll see. We will see. We will see. Since it's watercolor, you can also add texture by taking a baby wipe to a stencil and lifting the watercolor up. That is true. That is true. Okay, I'm going to get this salt off, and whatever's on here is what's going to be on here, because okay, well, you can see it more up there than you can anywhere else. I'm going to dry it a little bit, and then okay. All right. We're going to call that good. And let me pile these up a little bit better so they're not taking up as much space, because space is at a premium. Only I think they go that direction. Okay. Okay. And it says, with a large round brush dipped in clean water, dampen each pear shape to set the stage for wet into wet technique. Okay. Um, well, we're going to use this really big one. And my water's not totally clean, but we're going to go with it anyway. Okay. Alrighty. Now then, let's get our paint back. And it says, for the first one, we're going to do blue, turquoise, and light green. All right. Blue, turquoise, and light green. Okay. We're just going to let that set and do its thing. For the second one, yellow, orange, and red orange. Let's see. I think my paper's drying up too much because the air conditioner's on. Okay, sorry. I just noticed this over here is, of course, I guess that could have been highlights. Oh well, we're already moving it now. For the third one, use magenta and violet. I'm going to go back and add a little bit more water on this first so that I won't have to mess with it like I had to mess with the other ones. Okay, magenta. And violet. Okay. And we're going to let these set, and they're not, I mean, they're bubbling up, so that one may not run as much as I want it to, but so we're going to help it along a little bit. Okay. Okay, that added some not so great texture. Okay, so that was not a good plan. Let's see if we can redeem it a little bit here. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to leave it. Hi, Sharon. Thanks, Janet. uh, the most inspiring thing I think is that I'm actually keeping on instead of just throwing it away. Oh dear. Okay, let's do the salt thing again. It's watercolor. You got to trust it to do its own thing. Yeah. It's funny because we're texturing these pears several different ways. We're texturing them with salt. We're texturing them with paper, and then we're going to texture them with the ow, 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 ow. I pinched my hand in there. Then we're going to texture them by adding this glass bead gel to it. So, and that's hard to do. Yes, it is, Becky. It is hard for me anyway. It is hard to do. Okay, so we're going to let this dry. And while it's drying, I'm going to, I've already got my papers cut up. So the next thing I need to do is to make my own watercolor stamping ink formula. It says on a separate craft sheet, squeeze out a quarter-sized dollop of green watercolor, a dime-sized dollop of gum arabic, and a dime-sized dollop of dish soap, and an eraser head-sized amount of white gouache. That's pretty specific. Um, so I have to go get those things. I have to get the green watercolor out of the tube, the gum arabic, the dish soap, and the gouache, because all those things are in the house because I was not prepared. So I will be right back, and y'all can just watch this do its magic. Okay, if I can get out of here to go get my stuff. Okay. Well, I remembered that we had this watercolor pigment, make your own watercolor kit that had watercolor binder. Now, it doesn't say it's just gum arabic, so it might have other stuff in it, but we're going to use it anyway instead of having to mix up some gum arabic so with water. Because on the gum arabic, it says to mix 1 part gum arabic to 4 parts pigment. And that's not helpful because I'm not wanting to do pigment. So, yeah, it's doing good stuff, isn't it? Yes, I really did leave you watching paint dry. Okay, I'm going to move it over here while I try to mix this stuff up. And it says, okay, let me see something. Um, okay. It says to cut your papers and glue them on, but my pears are not dry yet. I started to go ahead and mix this, and then I thought, what if it dries out before that's dry? So we're going to wait. But I'm going to tell you what I've got here. I've got this. This was the binder I'm going to use, and Paraline green watercolor paint, and titanium white gouache, and Dawn dish liquid. So when we get to that step, those are the things we're going to use. If I can get my little quantities to work out, I don't know. Gonna listen and sew. That sounds good, Becky. Oh, I'm sorry about your computer, Renee. That's hard. Well, I'm not doing much. I was trying. There was something I was going to show y'all. I'm still trying to remember what it was. But I'm not positive. Not positive what it was. So, tell me what's the best thing that's happened to you today. If we're going to just sit here, we might as well see what good things happened to everybody today. Right now, being here with you, even though things aren't necessarily going the way I wanted, is the best thing that's happened to me today. So y'all can't use that. You have to use something else. Oh, you're sweet, Tanya. Well, being here to play is the best thing for me, so I understand. Thanks, Julie. I'm I'm glad all of you are here. That makes me happy. I just was hoping some of you had some fun thing happen to you today that you could tell us about. I made my own dinner today. It's hard to stand still and less painful to walk. Oh, goodness, honey. I'm sorry that you're hurting so much, but I'm glad you could make your own dinner. Lots of times we don't think about that being a blessing, but it is. being able to do things for ourselves is definitely a blessing. Oh, I've got to find another cough drop. This is ridiculous. I know I have one. Where are they? I brought some out here the other day and I have not used them all. Oh, here they are. Good grief. There's like 12 of them sitting just right over there. Hi, Kathleen. Oh, that is a good thing, Kathleen. Yay. I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you got to sleep in. That's wonderful. I actually got to sleep in too today, and that was good because it took me a long time to go to sleep. So it was a good thing for me to sleep in too. I I agree with that. Okay, let's see if this is getting dry. Not completely. I think I'm going to just go ahead and cheat and use the heat gun. I know it's not as good to do that, but okay. Okay, now I'm going to get this salt off. Well, first let's just kind of rub it loose and then I can dump it in the trash can. Trying to rub it while you're holding it over the trash can's harder. Okay, let's go ahead and glue our colored stuff down. I think I made these a little bit too big. Don't like that one. Let's use this one. I'm changing them to pieces like that. Okay. Yeah, 3 pairs. That's one reason I like using this because it grinds up into a bunch of different sizes, and that makes it easier to use. Okay, now this one. Let's do that. I'm just going to use 3 on that one because it's quite small compared to the others. Okay, where's my glue stick? I know I have one. Hmm. Oh dear. Well, I guess I took that in the house too. I've been trying to have, no, there it is. I've been trying to have stuff to do while Hannah and I do, watch TV and stuff together. Sometimes in the evening, she draws or paints watercolor, and so it's more fun for us to be doing things um, when we're both doing something and watching something. So we've been rewatching Heartland. I don't know how many of you watched that show, but we've been we watched, I don't know, the first several seasons and then quit watching it back a long time ago, and so we decided we're going to watch it again. See if we can get all the way through it this time. Thursday, Tanya and I are going to stream together on Tanya's channel, and we're just going to be working on whatever projects we need to get done, so y'all can get out some projects you need to work on and come visit with us while you work on them. And next week we're going to do the same thing, I think, and then we're going to start the week after that, which will be June 2nd. We're going to start working on some kind of a cooking journal. Neither one of us has a clue exactly what that's going to mean. Um, but we're going to do it anyway. However it turns out, we're going to be gathering up stuff for this week and next week. Well, I'm going to wait and do it next week if I happen to find things. And I have found a couple of things while I was going through stuff for the garage sale. I found a couple of things to use. So we're going to gather up some stuff and make some sort of cookbook journal. We don't know. I know one thing, I'm not going to use it to put recipes in. For one thing, I don't use that many recipes. Since we started eating mostly keto, I don't go to the trouble to cook um, things that you need recipes for. I cook meat and I cook veggies, and I don't need recipes for those. Um, but I love recipes and I love cookbooks. So, and one of my favorite cookbooks I've ever had is a bread cookbook. Of course, I don't make bread anymore, but I loved making artisan bread and that kind of thing. So, okay, next up, we're going to do this, what he's calling watercolor stamping ink. So it says a quarter-sized dollop of green. That's a lot of green watercolor. I do not think I'm going to mix that much. I don't think I'm going to put that much. Um, I think I think that's plenty. I may find out I'm wrong, but now that makes everything else harder to do. Um, a dime-sized dollop of gum arabic. I need a dropper. And I have one somewhere. Just give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. It's not clean, but I think it'll be okay. All right. And let's get some water in that and see if we can. I don't know. I may have just messed that one up. Okay. Anyway, gum arabic, dish soap, and some white gouache. Maybe a family recipe book in remembrance of. Um, oh, that's a good idea, Julie. Um, my my sister, for my mom's birthday last year, she collected recipes from me and from my sister-in-law. Good grief. And herself, and I had some recipes that were my grandmother's, and anyway, she made a book like that, and that's too much, but we'll just mix in how much we need because I'm having troubles. I'm having troubles. And a palette knife. Palette knife, yay! Okay, mix all the ingredients till you get a smooth ink-like consistency. For color variation, add a touch of light green watercolor, but don't overmix. Okay, let's move some of this back. I don't know that what an ink-like consistency is. And I didn't bring the light green watercolor out here with me, so I think I'm just going to mix some white in that's not perfectly mixed. That'll be my variation, I think. Okay. Clean that off. And I need a sponge. Should have gotten this stuff out in advance, but I didn't. Okay. Sponge and my stencil. And these are going to be huge leaves. Huge leaves for this, so this might not be such a great idea. But it's what I have. Um, hmm. I don't think I like these. Let me see if I can find my other leaf stencil here, if there's something smaller on it. Okay, we'll use these little leaves right here instead. Okay. And we're gonna actually use these, I think. Ah, okay, let's just see what happens. Okay, that looks cute. Let me clean off the back of the stencil a little bit. Okay. And hmm, I don't want that to. Ah, okay. Let's do this one over here and hope that this inky stuff stays good long enough for me to. Okay, I'm gonna have to dry that real quick and hope that this stuff stays wet long enough for me to do that because I'll mess it up otherwise. Okay. Now let's do. Let's dry this one a little bit. And then let's see if we can do one going down this way, just for kicks. Okay, I like that. Now then, I need a little brush. Oh, goodness, Janet, stay safe. Thank you. Thank you, Julie. Just needs a stem. Okay, I got some messy stuff on there trying to do those, but I think they turned out fairly good. And that ink worked out really well. Um, okay, let me dry those stems a little bit. Oh, thanks, Beth. Thanks, Tanya. Thanks, Becky. Thanks, Janet. Um, okay, these need to get those up out of the way. Okay, I don't know if that'll be usable again or not, but anyway. Okay, the ugh, some of that it spit that gum arabic all over me. I say it's okay, and then I keep trying to clean it some more. So I guess it's really not okay. I guess I really want it to be good for next time I want to use it for something. Okay, there we go. Now then, I want to go ahead and write um, the words down here, and then we're going to work with the glass bead gel. Now, I intended to get some regular white salt and do one of these with white salt and gloss medium, but I don't have any regular white salt. This is what I've got. Um, so I'm just going to use the bead gel. And the only reason I have that is because Sweet Paint Girly Lori um, sent it to me. Amazon did not package it well, and so the lid's cracked and broke. But that's okay. I got it. It's gonna be fine. I just had to kind of rig it so it'll stay good. But um, it's clear acrylic gel with small glass beads in it. So this is what I'm going to put on top of the pears. And it says 100% acrylic medium dries to a highly reflective texture. So it's medium thick, very transparent, and a gloss. So that's all I know about it, except it's made by Golden. And it's number 32365, Series D, in case somebody's interested in buying it. That was very sweet, Lori. Thank you so much for doing that. I would be playing with salt and gloss medium if I didn't have this, but she was so sweet and generous that I get to use the real thing. So thank you. I think I am going to get out the Posca pen because that white pen was not that easy to use, and I think I have a little white Posca pen somewhere here. Is that it? Oh, that one's not open. Let's see, what size is this one? 0.7. That's what this one is. So we're going to use this one. Oh, it's okay, Vanessa. We're just glad you're here. I'm liking it pretty good. It does look better on camera than it does in person. but that's okay. And the quote is, "There are no strangers, only friends you haven't met yet," by W.B. Yeats. Okay, that came out very quickly. All right. I think my paper is smaller than hers. Okay, here we got that. Thank you, Vanessa. In spite of some hiccups, I think it turned out really good. I'm going to let this dry a minute, and then we're going to put the glass bead gel on. And it just says, apply glass bead gel on top of the pears with a palette knife. Let it dry completely. This acrylic medium looks white when wet, but it dries transparent and glossy. So, so in order to see what it looks like, you'll have to wait till next week because it'll take it a while to dry. Let me clean my hands here. Oh, I just stuck my arm in the white from the Sharpie pen, the not Sharpie, the Posca pen. There are no strangers, only friends you haven't met yet. Yes. Okay. Now, what did I do with my? Here it is. Thank you, Kathleen. Before we do that, no, I'll tell you about it afterwards. Never mind. We're going to go ahead and do this. It wasn't even, this thing wasn't even completely off. It was just loose on one side, and all the stuff was squished out of there. Okay. I don't know how much you even put on. It's like a pure experiment here since I've never used this. And those little glass beads are extremely tiny. I think I still want to play with the salt idea. But I used to have some, that cheap white iodized salt. Um, Morton's or whatever it is. Um, I used to have some of that for art stuff, but I couldn't find it. So I guess I eventually got rid of it. But I think that would be about the right texture. Um, I just don't know if it would, you know, be clear when it dries. I don't know. Somebody try it and let me know. Okay, that's very white. I may have put on too much. I don't know. I do remember that fake fruit. Yes. Um, and it was definitely um, what this will remind you of. This is not the easiest thing. Yes, just 1 second and I'll show you what it is, Julie. What I at first thought I was going to do, because I didn't realize this was a clear thing, I just thought it was a texture thing because I didn't know how they were going to use it. But when they talked about the glass bead gel, I thought, oh, I've got these gold and silver tiny, tiny little beads. I could just put those in some gel medium and um, and use that. But since it's clear, that wouldn't work because it's just texture. It's not color, you know. And I think these are even smaller, maybe, than those little tiny beads that I've got in a jar that I don't think I've ever, I think I may have used the gold ones once. Trying to take some off the thicker places on these to do that little one. I don't know. I don't want to waste it, but I don't know how thick it's supposed to be. But I feel like I had some places too thick. And I still think I do. I just saw another place that I think is too thick. So, but it looks pretty solid the way they've got it on that one. So I don't think I'm overdoing it. Have any of you used this? Am I putting it on too thick? All right, Becky, that's wonderful. She's almost got it done. Well, making the blocks. Okay. We clean this off here. Let's try to get this really clean because the last thing I want is for this to glue itself shut. Well, I guess it wouldn't because I've got the okay. Yeah, it dries clear, so it should be okay. I agree. Okay. It's golden glass bead gel. So that's what it is. We're gonna see next week. We'll find out what it's like. Okay, let's set this over here and take a quick look at next week what we're gonna do and what we need. Um, I want to check one other thing here. This is yellow orange project. The this one, believe it or not, was the yellow project. Um, yellow, yeah, sunflowers. This is yellow orange pears. So this was the second one. So the next one will probably be orange, I guess. But here are some more projects that she did that she's calling yellow orange. The meaning of yellow orange, it says yellow orange evokes feelings of hospitality, welcome, hope, inspiration, encouragement, and illumination. So here's some of the other work she did with that color. Okay, the next one is orange autumn trees fiber paste technique. Oh, good, Julie. So now we know Liquitex has a bead gel too. So that's good to know because I imagine Liquitex isn't as expensive. I could be wrong, but it says orange is my foundation color for bold autumn landscapes. Fiber paste medium is perfect for this thing because it can be molded into a rough and bumpy surface that simulates bark. It's great when the unique characteristics of an art supply turn into the subject of the painting. Okay, and I don't know what fiber paste is. I don't have any, but we'll figure out. I'll look into it and see what it's made of and see if I can come up with. There's probably a DIY make your own fiber paste video on YouTube somewhere. So I'll try to find that. If I do find one, I'll stick it in the group. Becky has the fiber paste. She says it's really cool. All right. Well, if you choose to do this project, Becky, then you're all set. Other than that, we pretty much are using the same things we've used before: brushes, crayons, salt, palette knife, um, a scraper tool or an old credit card, um, a filing block. I'm not sure what the filing block is for. Oh, you're using the file to file watercolor little bits of a watercolor pencil onto the trees. But this is what it looks like when it's finished. I think that's going to be a beautiful project. And it has some gold splatters. That's always good. Julie says she has it too and she loves it. It literally has fibers in it. Um, Julie expected it to be long pieces of fiber, but it's not. Okay, well that's cool. Well, I'll see what I can come up with to use. Is it like paper fibers or is it I think color burst might be good if you don't get any water on it afterwards. If you get water on it afterwards, that color burst will just more like threads. Oh, okay. That's interesting. And white gouache, after you put your color on there, you'll go back with white gouache to add highlights. It says lightly skim over the tree trunks to mimic paper birches. Let it dry. So anyway, that'll be fun, I think. I'm looking forward to that one. But I'll look into the fiber paste and see what I could use for the filings. I think you could use color burst for the instead of the filings if like I said, if you don't get it wet again, because those color bursts, they really go like that in water, and it would completely cover it up. Whereas the watercolor pencil will be much more subtle. You could probably also use Inktense blocks or pencils, but those too would react really a lot to water. Whereas the watercolor pencils, they don't react as much to water. At least mine. I don't have really good ones. If I had better watercolor pencils, maybe they would react more. But um, Julie says she also has coarse pumice gel. That sounds like fun too. Okay, go get your trash to the curb. You want to get rid of it. Thank you, Becky. Have a good night. I like them. I think that I'm happy with it. I think I'm a little happier with this project than I am this one. Although now that it's finished, I like it better. But anyway, so there's what we're going to work on next week. I'm going to put this up on this and find a place to let it dry. I'll take this off. There we go. Okay. Well, I didn't plan to do anything after this because I thought it would take a lot longer than it did. Coarse pumice gel makes great brick walls. Ooh, I bet it does, Julie. I bet it does. Um, but I do have to go and try to dig some more stuff out for the garage sale before I go to bed tonight. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get off for now. But thank you all for coming tonight. I enjoyed it. Um, I know we weren't on as long as normal, but I think that is probably what I really need to do instead of stay on here more, especially since I don't have something specific in mind to work on. So, love you all. Have a great night. Bye bye. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, we'll see you at Tanya's on Thursday at 2.